I just think we should hold them to the same standard.
Just to respond to Mize, the purpose of a nightclub, bar, or party is to provide a venue, typically for single people, to meet each other. If women just wanted to hang out with their friends, drink cocktails, dance with each other, and avoid the exhausting approaches of single men, they'd stay in and you just stay in.
Or they go to a painting class or brunch or something where you're not indulging in a social environment to
Absolutely.
get drunk.
Girls' night in, I assume that'd be a much more enjoyable experience. You don't spend as much on drinks. You get to eat whatever snacks you want. You can dress however you like. The company is pleasant, and you can discuss all the things that you'd like to talk about with your friends without blaring music and drunk people and crazy flashing lights. If you go out to clubs and bars, like you're looking for attention from men.
I also feel like it can affect a woman's mentality, because when you're in this party environment, there's also things like alcohol involved. There's intoxication. Have you ever been approached by a guy and you've said no, right? You've probably been approached by a man and you've said no. Has he ever come back and tried talking to you again? No, don't go running home to your boyfriend saying, oh my God, this guy tried getting at me, because you're putting yourself in the position where that's able to happen to you. And then it fucks with your mindset too. You're like, oh, fuck men are gross, blah, blah, blah. But you're also putting yourself in the position to be approached by men to do that to you.
Look, I'll just say this. Gentlemen, don't be in a serious relationship with a woman who doesn't realize the importance of limiting their own behavior to protect the relationship. That's it. Do you have more?
No.
I would say, ladies, same thing. And if he's watching porn, look out.
This is just a whataboutism.
I think that puts the relationship in danger. You talked about behaviors that put the relationship in danger in the long term.
You're literally fucking hijacking the conversation by trying to talk about porn. We can talk about porn, but you're trying to discredit my stance on the don't date people that regularly go out to bars and nightclubs by saying porn is bad. I don't disagree with you, but you're literally hijacking the conversation.
I'm not discrediting.
Madison, can you read that?
You conflict reality with fiction. That's B crap. Guys that blank porn stars make 0.5% of all men. There's a 99.99% chance that an average guy never fucks a porn star, but here's a 99.99% chance of his girlfriend flirting with a random dude while clubbing.
And Hector Rodriguez, no, I never was into clubs.
She's trying to say that the guy occasionally watching porn is as bad as a woman going out to nightclubs and bars and parties while in a long-term monogamous committed relationship and putting herself in an environment where she knows she's going to get approached by other men.
She doesn't know.
Yes,
it's not 100%.
Don't be naive.
I've gone to a club and I've never gotten hit on.
Don't be naive.
It's not naive. It's not every single girl gets hit on.
Yeah.
The fact that you're putting on all women that they get hit on when they go out to a club, it's not real.
It's pretty real.
So the guys that night didn't have the balls to go and talk to you, but they were looking and they were thinking, but they didn't have the courage to do it.
Then why is that my issue if a guy looked at me and thought I was cute? I put myself in a position where people could think I look cute.
It's the issue with the environment.
But it's an issue with the guy having his girlfriend go to a bar and somebody, even if they didn't talk to me, they're still going to be like, oh, well, someone looked at you and they thought you looked cute, so you shouldn't have gone out.
No, I'm saying that's a one-off. That for your situation, you went out and no one hit on you, that's a one-off.
Exactly.
Correct?
But that
normally
happens.
they do hit on you?
Not normally. It doesn't happen every time.
But it does.
And for a lot of people, it doesn't happen at all.
That's kind of cap, but okay.
It's not a cap.
It's totally.
Do you know every woman? Do you know every girl that has gotten hit on? No. There are many people that have not gotten hit on.
Yeah.
If you're out at a club and you hold up a sign that says, I want to get laid, you're going to have a line of men walking up to each and every one of you. Mm-hmm. If I do the same thing and I hold up a sign that says, I want to get laid, I'm also going to have a line, but full of men. No woman is going to come up to me and say, oh my God, me. Because who controls sex? Women. Correct?
Yeah.
I think look, I think the going to bar, like if you're in the mindset of wanting to be in a long-term healthy relationship, should you be going out to bars all the time and doing the things that you do when you're like a young single woman? No. So I completely agree with your argument, Brian. I just think that if we're talking about the mindset of fidelity, which I think at the core of your argument is that, because you talk about respecting your partner and that's the impetus for not doing that behavior, then I think that it's also important to like talk about a thing that can be more, put men and women more equally, which I think in this case would be male porn use. Because you're right, a man going to a bar is not going to be treated the same way that a woman going to a bar would be. So it's just not fair.
Right, but very, very simple. Just, I mean, don't date men that watch porn. The difference is, I don't think any man here is going to object to you having a preference or a standard for not wanting to date a man who watches porn.
Okay.
That's perfectly reasonable. No woman is going to push back on you on that. No man, I mean, I'm wondering if I've heard somebody say you're insecure as a woman if you have an issue with your partner watching porn. It's certainly, I've maybe heard that. However, you're certainly not going to get as much pushback for your standard or preference as men are for not wanting a partner who doesn't go to bars, clubs, and parties. Men get shamed for having their preferences. Whenever a man has a preference, standard, or boundary, it's you're insecure, you're a misogynist, you're controlling, you're insecure.
You think you get that, especially if you like make it clear that you want a relationship? Like I can see that if you're
yes, women shame men's preferences, standards, and boundaries all the time. Men are not allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries. It's almost always met with some kind of shaming language. You're controlling, you're insecure, you're et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. And Hector Rodriguez, no, I never was into the club life. So, to your point.
Look, am I allowed to talk to these people?
One sec. We'll get to those. Look, I think I'm going to give the dream world hypothetical scenario. It's been so long time since I've done it to probably try to maybe drill into why men would care about this and try to put yourselves in men's shoes. Ultimately, just look, don't date women who put their relationship at risk. Or I do not date women who will put our relationship at risk. So I'm going to give a dream world hypothetical scenario to some of you. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I have it written down. One sec. So we're going to create, let me see if I got a noise here. I can play that. Well, I don't know if I have one. No. That's not really what I was going for, but whatever. Okay, dream world. So we're going to create a dream world. Since let's be honest, unless as a guy you're super famous or like insanely attractive, girls just do not hit up guys like in the example that I'm about to give. So in the real world, the vast majority of men who go out to parties, clubs, bars, straight up would get ignored if they don't make the first move. So pay close attention, especially you, Sienna, especially you. So would you be okay with your long-term monogamous partner going to a nightclub, bar, or party type environment where throughout the course of the night, he's going to get approached, flirted with, and sexually pursued by numerous attractive women, some of which are more attractive than you and could potentially be a better partner than you? These women are buying him drinks, getting him drunk, and enthusiastically want to sleep with him that night and steal him away from you. And there's a little more extra to it. You're going to tell me you'd be okay with that?
If I trust him, yeah.
If I trust him, yeah.
Yeah, but I also feel like it comes down to like what some of that stuff is, because I feel like if you're going out and you're in a relationship, you shouldn't necessarily be, accepting drinks and playing into it. But I think that if you're going out and you're turning things down, then there's no issue with that.
Okay.
I would not be okay with that, but I'm also not about that life, so I don't.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard to speak to, but
okay.
Yeah,
right.
I would not be okay with that.
I also wouldn't be okay with dating a man that goes out constantly and drinks and has women constantly hitting on him to boost his ego, but I would be okay with trusting my partner to go out and have a fun time with his friends.
I agree.
I would be very not okay with that.
Madison?
I'd probably not be okay with that either. And I feel like it's like everyone's saying, like, trust your partner, and obviously no matter what in your relationship with anyone that you are committed to, you should have trust in your partner. You just can't trust other people, you know? Like, you don't know what other people are going to do to your boyfriend. Like, you could easily have them swipe your boy and kiss him or whatever, but like it's like not in your control.
That stuff has happened in front of my face before.
Yeah,
because women are kind of crazy sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does happen.
And men are crazy too.
Same,
so
yes.
The thing for me is, like, I would trust him and be fine with that if that's what ended up happening. But if he knew he was going out and that is what was going to happen, if he like was aware of that, then I'd be like, okay, don't do that. But if he went out, just going out to be with his buddies and a bunch of girls are flirting with him, it's kind of not his fault for going out. It's not because he went out, everybody's flirting with him. It's other people's wanting to get with him. And if he is secure enough in a relationship and I'm secure enough in a relationship, then he will be able to be like, no.
Well, I think part of it is you guys obviously go out and party, go out regularly. You said you will go out 4 or 5 times a week. So obviously you're going to want to defend the behavior that you yourself are engaging in. But the whole point with the dream world hypothetical scenario is try to have you see, because men care, it seems to me that men care much more about this than do women. And you often think men are more controlling about their partner going out into these types of environments. Again, the point of the dream world hypothetical scenario, what I just tried to paint for you is that's what we are contending with when our girlfriends, our wives even, go out to these types of venues. Men don't get the same level of attention that even an average woman gets when going out to these types of environments. Because again, men are the pursuers, women are the pursued. So like the difference of attention is absolutely insane between men and women. It's totally different. So that's why men have a much more vested interest in trying to date women that don't put themselves in situationships that put their relationship at risk. Like, that's just our masculine instinct to protect you and protect the relationship.